How's it going, everyone? Thanks again for joining my NHL '08 Dynasty mode with the Carolina Hurricanes. We're going to try to get year two. Hopefully this video isn't too long. We're going to get through all of year two. Hopefully the simulation is quick. It's easy. We're winning games, and we get to the playoffs, and we're not as bad as last season. These are the '08-'09 Carolina Hurricanes. We got Dustin Penner on the first line with Eric Staal and Justin Williams. Then we go Eric Cole, Jordan Staal, and Tuomo Ruutu. This line played really great for us in year one before I tried to break them up to try to get the team winning. But these guys all played really well together, so I'm hoping that they can do it again, and hopefully our first line actually produces. Third line, we got Sergei Samsonov, Wells Greeno McNeil, this guy that we signed in free agency at the beginning of year one. He's developed really well over 1 year. He jumped up to 80 overall. He's still only 19 years old, but his faceoffs is 86, which is really nice. UC Jokinen also on that third line. So we got a really offensive third line. You know, maybe they can produce for us. Maybe we need to get a little bit more defense there, but our fourth line was the one that was really hurting us last season. All these guys have kind of improved a little bit. Defensive awareness 77, defensive awareness 80, defensive awareness 77. Defensively, it still looks about the same because we lost an 83 overall Glenn Wesley. We replaced him with Andre Mazzaros. Defense isn't, there's no studs here, but they're all young. Keith Ballard is 25. Andre Mazzaros is 22. Yoni Pikkanen's 24. Ladislav Smid is 22 in this game. Tim Gleason's 25, and Grebeshkov is 24. So all these guys are 25 or younger. They're only going to get better and better and better, but if we need to have an immediate improvement at some point, we might can look at making some trades. Here's a look at the power play lines real quick. Here's a look at the penalty kill lines. The thing with this team is our depth really isn't extreme. So when it comes to penalty kills, we still have to play some of our top guys like Jordan Staal and Ruutu and Eric Cole, just so we're not putting out plugs. And then on the three-man penalty kill, I'll put all my best defensemen, except Grebeshkov. Goalies, we got Cam Ward and Devin Dubnyk, 22 years old, potential 84. He might could grow for us, but, you know, Cam Ward's the guy. First game of the year. And it's a 2-0 shutout win for the first game of the year. Love to see that. Cam Ward's starting off hot. We actually got an OT win in the first week of the season. If you'll remember back to year one, we didn't get an overtime win until we got into the year 2008. So it took a couple months. So I was about to panic after October because it was not looking good again. We went on a 6-game win streak to bring it back over 500. So it's not looking terrible. It's not looking great, but it's not looking as bad as we were last year. If we can go on 6-game win streaks, then it shows that this team has the potential to actually win games. So Dustin Penner is really happy with his ice time. That is good to hear. The new guy is enjoying his time here on the team. Eric Staal is also happy with his ice time. So the two guys on the first line are chilling. So this year it looks like once again our defense is okay. It says our defense is hot right now with only 73 goals against. Our goalies are hot. It's our power play and our offense that are just not showing up, even though our offense is our best rated number up there. The offense isn't showing up. So our top two lines are doing great. Dustin Penner is over a point per game. He's got 17 goals in 26 games. Eric Staal over a point per game. Justin Williams over a point per game. Tuomo Ruutu nearly a point per game. Jordan Staal nearly a point per game. Eric Cole, all right, he's got 15 points in 26 games, but the third line, Sergei Samsonov, he's minus 13 This guy, minus 13. UC Jokinen, minus 13. He's only got 2 points. UC Jokinen has been garbage for us. This guy, honestly, he's looking like he might be trade bait. He does not simulate well for us at all. I mean, the fourth line has better numbers than the third line, not only points-wise, but also plus-minus-wise. So we need some more. We're gonna move Andrew Ladd to the third line, and we're gonna put Sergei Samsonov on the fourth line. Top line is a plus. Line 2 is in the negative. And line 3 is a plus. So our line 2 on defense, but even still, they're not as bad. Their numbers aren't as bad as the third line guys' numbers are. The third line forwards. I don't know what it is about this old game's simulation, but it does not like overtime. Even the computer teams that we're going up against, they've only had 4 overtime losses. Some of these teams have 0 overtime losses. Something about this simulation just does not like overtime games. It gets it done in regulation. It is not taking anything to OT. Let's see if we can lose to Florida for 3 times in 3 weeks. Hey, look at that. We beat the Florida Panthers. Yes. I would love another one of those 6-game win streaks, please. 4 games is nice. We can do better. We can do better. Hey, we're hot. We're hot. Let's go. Alright, well, fuck me, huh? That's alright. That was just a little bump in the road. We pick it right back up, baby. Come on. Let's keep... This is a lot of games in this... A lot of games in this month. We need a lot of wins. That's what I'm talking about. We're fine. We're fine. Let's pick it back up and get another win right here. No, another win. There we... Oh, no. A neck strain... January 2009. Oh, that's where we are. Okay, so he's only going to be gone for like 2 weeks. All right, big January. Big January. Let's keep it up. Yes. Come on, let's finish hot before the All-Star break, guys. Let's finish hot. That's what I'm talking about. There we go. Look at this team. 2009, baby. This is it. Alright, well, every single fucking time I say something, we just get shit on. Yeah, sure. What kind of schedule puts 3 games in a row versus the same exact team? And they're all at home. Atlanta's just in Raleigh for like a week, and we play 3 games straight. And they're getting their ass beat. Here we go. Here we go. Big week right here. 4 games to close out February. Hey, our second overtime loss of the year. Well, actually, of this season. It's the first one of 2009. Ah, come on, guys. We need to win these last 2. Fuck! Alright, at least we got a win there. Devin Dubnyk. During the summer, I reconsidered my position on being traded, and I will give you another chance at using me properly within your organization. If at any point during this season I feel I'm not given a fair chance, I will once again request a trade. So do you want to be traded, or are you going to give me another chance to use you, and then you might want to be traded again? I don't know. Alright, so we're 6th in the Eastern Conference, which isn't terrible. We're 14th in the league. We're only 2 points behind being 4th in the Eastern Conference, though. So this, and we have 2 games in hand on Tampa Bay. This is a really tight race. If we could finish the Eastern Conference in 4th, we'll make the playoffs. but it is a really tight race right here. So I was looking at Sergei Samsonov. He's 30 years old. His shot is not great. His offensive awareness is really good, but for him to be on our fourth line, we don't need a guy who's got really good offensive awareness and really good offensive stats. I think we need to replace the sniper Sergei Samsonov on our fourth line. It could even be the third line with a more defensive player to try to limit the amount of goals against we have. We look at his stats. He's only got 8 points. He's minus 26 on the year. You know, I feel like he's not contributing that much, especially for the spot he is in our lines. We need a more defensively responsible player. So we got Sergei Samsonov. Devin Dubnyk said he wanted to be traded. I was looking at Boston. Marco Sturm, he's the same age, but his defensive awareness is 80. And even his offensive awareness, his offensive numbers are really just as good, if not better, than Sergei Samsonov, except he's also got defense. And we look at his points, his season stats, he's got 55 points in 60 games, and he's plus 14. I don't think the game recognizes that he's playing above his skill level or his overall rating. So Marco Sturm for Sergei Samsonov, basically that's the trade. Devin Dubnyk wanted out. That's fine. Cam Ward is our guy, and we'll throw in Dan LaCosta as a goalie roster spot. Will it go through? It does go through. Just like that, the Hurricanes have made a move just before the trade deadline, shipping out Sergei Samsonov and Devin Dubnyk for Marco Sturm. So this is where Marco Sturm fits in. We're going to put him on this third line. Oh, Joseph Vasicek is in there for an injured UC Jokinen, it looks like. So UC Jokinen will eventually be on this third line right wing. Marco Sturm fits. He's going to bring a defensive presence into this third line. And maybe he helps with their offensive simulation as well. But, you know, minus 22 on the year, only 11 points. He's getting more. Third liner should have a little more points than that. I mean, that's not great. What's Joseph Vasicek been doing down here? He's played 2 games, minus 1. All right, well, there was the move, Marco Sturm. Let's see if this improves our simulation at all or if it does anything. So we've already made our trade for the trade deadline, so we're just going to simulate right on past that. There we go. March looking good so far. I swear every time I say something we lose. Yeah, UC Jokinen's got a bruised hand. He's coming back in April. Man, a bruised hand keeps you out for a month, my guy? Alright, we're going to simulate all the way up to the last few games of the season. Be good to me. No! At least put it in OT. The problem is, we wouldn't be that bad if we could just get some overtime losses. It's all these regulation losses. What is that about? UC Jokinen's back. I don't even know if we want him in there. What's Joseph Vasicek been doing? 11. He's 1 point in 11 games, minus 4. He's not doing any better than UC Jokinen, so I might as well throw him in there. 60 games played, 9 points, minus 20. That's really bad. Yes! Let's go, boys! Ah. Come on, big win here. Big win. Fuck! Oh, that's fucking tough, man. Oh, that's fucking tough. 3 regulation losses in a row at this crucial point in the season. Why doesn't this game do overtime? 33 regulation losses, only 2 overtime losses. They've got 10 overtime losses. They've got 13 overtime losses. It's possible, it just doesn't happen for us. They've got 1 over. See, some teams Some teams, the game just doesn't let them go to overtime. That's going to be a huge game at the end of the season, by the way. We are second in our division right now. That's actually big, I think. But we're only 2 points ahead of Washington, only 3 points ahead of Tampa Bay. That is a tight race. So here we are tied with Philadelphia, Boston for basically 6th in the Eastern Conference. We're all only 2 points behind Montreal. All right, at this point, every single game is huge. We're going to go one at a time. No, dude, no. No, that is 4 regulation losses in a row. We're going to miss the playoffs. We're going to miss the fucking playoffs. We can't even snag one single point by going to OT. We're going to miss the playoff. We need a win. We have to win. No! What the fuck? Are you fucking kidding me? 5 regulation losses in a row in the last month of the season? Y'all are choking. Y'all are absolutely choking. Oh, it's over. It's over. I think we're done, boys. I think we're out. Oh my God, we're 10th in the Eastern. I think we're out. Look at all these other. Look, the Islanders have moved past us. Boston, Philadelphia, Washington. They're all winning game. We can't win a game in the last week of the season. I mean, there's something. Is it even still possible? We're 2 points behind. Oh, dude, we're only 2 points behind all these teams. Look at the standings real quick. Look at these fucking standings. What is going on here? Look at all the points. 82 all the way down to the New York Rangers, who are 13th in the Eastern Conference. They're 82, 83, 84, 86. There's us, 87, 87, 88, 88. This entire conference is packed, and we can't win a game. Look at that. We have 42 wins. The teams above us have 37, 38, 37. You know why? Because they have 14, 11, and 13 overtime losses. We have 2. And Boston has 0. I'd be pissed if I was them. Their team's playing great. It's these. What is up with the simulation? How does it decide what teams are allowed to get overtime losses and what teams are not allowed to get overtime losses? I don't understand what's happening with this simulation. If we had even a couple more games get overtime losses, we'd be in a playoff position right now. This is a huge game against Tampa. We're going to jump into it and sim it. Down 2-1. Down 4-3. Can we get a tie? We tied it. It's going to overtime. We won in overtime. It went to overtime. It went to overtime. It went to overtime. Last 5 minutes of the third period, Carolina goal. Eric Stahl assisted by Dustin Penner. They tied it up and then they won in overtime. What? And did it go to a shootout? It must have went to a shootout because it doesn't say anyone scored. It just says winner. I think we won in a shootout. What a huge win. Is it still possible? Is it still possible? Washington is right below us. I don't even know if we can make it. The New York Islanders have played 82 games. They have 89 points. We have 88. We can jump them with a win. Boston has 1 more game remaining. We need them to lose. And then we gotta win. We have to beat Washington. That's for fucking sure. We gotta win. Let's just win, and then we'll see what happens. We're gonna sim it. It goes fast, boys. It goes fast. First period, we're up 2-0. Second period, 2-1. Third period, 3-2. No! We tied it again in the last 5 minutes. We won it overtime again. Tuomo Ruutu in the last 5 minutes from Andre Mazzaros at 18:23, and then they won in another shootout, it looks like. Oh, wow, did we make it? Did we make it? Let's sim up. What happens? We're in the playoffs! We're in the fucking playoffs, baby! That's what I'm talking about! We won the last 3 games of the season. In the last 2 games of the season, we tied both games in the last 2 minutes of each game to tie it at the very end, and then to win in overtime to get ourselves into the playoffs for the first time in General Manager Gert Gerdington's career. In year 2, we bring it to the playoffs. Wow, that was intense. After year 1, I forget what our record was. We might have only won 20 games and lost 40 something. We had over 40 regulation losses. We still had a ton of regulation losses this year, don't get me wrong. But I mean, look, we had 44 wins and the Thrashers had 47. That's not that big of a difference. It's all in the overtime losses, and we just don't get that simulation. We know that. Wow. Save the game. Save the game. Save it. 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 Whew, here's the playoff tree, everyone. We got in as the 7th seed, so we weren't even the last seed. We got the Buffalo Sabres got the number 1 spot playing the Philadelphia Flyers. The Atlanta Thrashers, RIP, playing the Carolina Hurricanes, baby. We're in there. Then you got the Pittsburgh Penguins playing the Boston Bruins. Boston's actually up 1-0 already. You got Ottawa and Montreal. In the Western Conference, Colorado versus Calgary. Chicago versus the Phoenix Coyotes, RIP. There's 2 teams in here that don't even exist anymore. The San Jose Sharks versus the Dallas Stars. And the Minnesota Wild versus the Columbus Blue Jackets. We're in there, baby. We're in there. We're in it. All we need is a chance. Player stats for the season. Eric Stahl, 92 points in 82 games, over a point per game. Dustin Penner, the free agent, signing 43 goals, 44 assists, 87 points in 82 games. He's over a point per game. What a signing. He no doubt had a massive hand in getting us into the playoffs. Jordan Stahl on the second line, 77 points. Justin Williams, 73 points in 82 games. Eric Cole, 66 points. Tuomo Ruutu, 64. Marco, there's our guy right here. I think he had 55 points in 60 games, maybe. So he played 19 games for us and only got 6 points, I believe. But look at his plus minus. I mean, he's a plus. Andre Mazzaros and Keith Ballard, our top defensive pairing. 43 points, 31 points. Both are in the positive and plus minuses, so that's huge to see. Yoni Pikkinen, second pairing, right there. He's right there with him. Maybe Yoni needs to be on the first line, take Keith Ballard's spot. Here comes the third line, guys. Andrew Ladd, Wells Greeno, McNeil. They're both minus 25, which is not great, but the way the season was starting, it seemed like they were going to be minus 50. So I think they pulled it around come the latter half of the season, and that probably was helped by Marco Sturm being on that third line with him. Actually, he took Andrew Ladd's spot. So where's UC Jokinen? All the way at the bottom, 11 points in 71 games, minus 19. I mean, our third line defenseman, Denis Grebeshkov, has more points than him. Fourth line, again, I don't think the fourth line is ever going to simulate well in this game because during the simulation, they got to score on you somehow. So I feel like the fourth liners just get fucked with the simulation. Cam Ward, he played all 82 games, 2.8 goals against, which is pretty good. But the save percentage is not good. He got a shutout in the very first game of this season and then only got 1 more for the rest of the season. Okay, looking at the entire NHL stats, let's see the goal leaders. 61 goals for Sidney Crosby, 60 goals for Ilya Kovalchuk, 2 60-goal seasons this year. Wow, that's crazy. 57 goals for Danny Heatley, back when this guy was a stud. Marty St. Louis. Jaromir Jagr had 54 goals. Marian Gaborik. Thomas Vanek had 50 goals. Shane Doan almost had 50 goals. Jason Spezza. Vincent Lecavalier. Let's look at the points. I saw some crazy totals. Ilya Kovalchuk with 123 points. That is nuts. My guy's plus minus was 78. These guys were plus 82. Goodness gracious. They just don't get scored against. Look at the points. Marion Gaborik, Danny Heatley, Jason Spezza, Marion Hossa, Ryan Smith, Sidney Crosby, Vincent LeCavalier, Frederick Modine? 84 overall? A lot of points. A lot of points on offer. Ovechkin had more assists than goals. That's kind of wild. Peter Forsberg, what a guy. All right, for defensemen, points. Sheldon Souray with the most points on defense in the NHL. 20 goals. Wow. Zdeno Chara had 61 points. Ed Jovanovski, Chris Pronger, Scott Niedermayer, Dustin Byfuglien, Ryan Whitney, Yaroslav Spacek, Nicholas Lidstrom is down there. Shea Weber, Wade Redden, Jay Bouwmeester, Dion Phaneuf. What about goals? I bet Sheldon Souray's got the most goals. Yep, 20 goals for Sheldon Souray. Wow. What about assists? Ooh, 1 assist away from 50. Ryan Miller with the most wins with 48 wins in 69 games played. That is crazy. Cam Ward, hey, he's second in the league in wins. All right, it doesn't matter that he played literally every single game. He's second in the league in wins. All right, and he's not tired at all. I mean, look at all these top goalies in the league, all these guys that actually played a lot of games. Their save percentage isn't amazing either, so Cam Ward is definitely comparable to these guys. I mean, he's got a better save percentage than Jose Theodore and Evgeny Nabokov and Marc-Andre Fleury. So I guess that's just how the goalies simulate, you know. Rookie skaters. Eric Fair is a rookie skater. 55 points. That's a good year. Wojtek Polak. David Krejci's rookie year on this game, 32 points. Chris Letang, 31 points. Chris Letang, David Krejci, you know, these rookies might have some sort of future ahead of them. Who knows? I guess we'll have to see. Wow, Brad Moran is a rookie defenseman with 46 points. That's way more impressive. Andre Sekera, or Sekera, whatever it is, 19 points as a rookie. 22 years old, Andre Sekera. Guys, I was totally prepared at the end of this simulation to have a speech about how, you know, even though we might have just barely missed out on the playoffs, it was still a good year for us. The improvement from year 1 to year 2. If y'all remember, year 1, if we would have had our first round pick, we would have had the second overall pick. So we were second worst in the NHL. This season, we were pushing for the playoffs all the way to the very end. So even if we wouldn't have made it, it still would have been a good year for us. I definitely would have been disappointed, but it still would have been a good year for us. But we made it in. We made it in anyway. So what an absolutely monstrous year for the 2008-2009 Carolina Hurricanes. We could get swept in round 1 and I wouldn't care. We made the play. Well, that's not true. I would care. We made the playoffs. We have a shot. Just get us in, get our foot in the door, and we might can make something happen. Join me for the next video where we'll go through the whole playoff simulation. I think y'all have seen how fast the game simulations go, so it's not like the modern day NHL games with the real-time simulation where it's kind of fleshed out a little bit and you can adjust it. They go quick. So the playoff simulation's going to go pretty quick. Who knows, we might be able to do the offseason in the same video, or maybe we just do the playoffs depending on how deep the run goes. But I guess we're going to have to find out. Next video, the Carolina Hurricanes versus the Atlanta Thrashers in round 1 of the 2009 NHL playoffs.